They say there was once a man who deceived time, whose face remained young, while sin aged in his place.
It wasn't myth, it wasn't magic, it was desire, and desire is hungrier than hell.
The portrait showed him beautiful, but on the canvas, something moved, a painted eye that never stopped watching him.
The artist swore he heard a heartbeat behind the painting. Thump after thump, as if beauty itself were breathing.
Until one day, the canvas fell.
And the painting bled.
They say the color that spilled wasn't oil. It was guilt.
Since that day, no one ever painted with such perfection again. They say every form of beauty is a curse shaped like a miracle, and the more perfect it seems, the closer it is to breaking.
London, late 19th century. A city dressed in smoke and mirrors. There, among golden salons and glasses of wine, a young man named Dorian Gray began to fear something he hadn't yet lost. His reflection.
He was beautiful. So beautiful that others looked at him with devotion. And he began to believe that as long as he was admired, nothing within him could die.
The artist, Basil, painted him with trembling hands. Each brushstroke felt like a prayer. But no one realized that what was being created was not a portrait. It was a witness.
When Dorian saw the finished painting, he felt a sting in his chest. It was like looking into the future and realizing that time had already chosen its enemy.
Fear wrapped around him with the same softness as sunset light. And in that instant, without thought, without understanding, he wished to stop time.
Not out of vanity, but out of fear of no longer being loved.
And fear, when disguised as desire, always finds someone to listen. That night, the portrait still smelled of fresh oil paint. The air was still, too still. Dorian stared at his image, and for the first time in his life, he felt envy of himself.
It was a fleeting thought, a spark even he didn't understand. But the universe did.
I would give my soul to remain like this, he whispered. And the moment those words touched the air, something awoke, something that should not have heard.
There were no thunders, no contracts, no signatures, just a different silence, one that weighed heavy, one that seemed to answer him.
The candles flickered. The paint on the portrait tightened for a second as if it had breathed. Dorian felt his fear leave him.
From that day on, every morning was the same. Same skin, same glow in his eyes. Time had stopped touching him.
But what time does not touch, the darkness claims.
At first, He took it as a miracle, then as a right, and finally as an excuse.
Because power doesn't corrupt, it only reveals what was already rotten.
At first, no one noticed the change. Dorian seemed the same smile, the same voice that enchanted everyone. But something had gone dim behind his eyes. The parties grew longer, the wine stronger, the laughter hollower, and his soul quieter.
Time passed and he remained perfect. While others aged, he stayed untouched. And in that stillness, his ruin began. Until one night, he remembered the painting. Years had passed since he'd seen it. He searched for it in the attic shadows, covered by an old cloth.
When he lifted it, he could barely breathe. The face in the portrait wasn't his, or perhaps it was, but decayed, deformed, cracked, and shadowed.
The eyes on the canvas glared with contempt, as if the soul he had sold still lived there, waiting to collect its debt.
He tried to clean the painting, thought it was dust, or dampness, or time. But the more he touched it, the more it seemed to bleed.
And he understood. The painting didn't age by mistake. It aged for him. Every desire, every betrayal, every sin left a mark.
And so he began to hide it, to lie about it, to lie to himself. Because there is no mirror crueler than the one that shows what you already know and refuse to remember.
It was night when Dorian returned to the attic. He had spent days feeling the portrait's gaze even with his eyes closed. The air smelled of dust and guilt.
He locked the door behind him. The painting was still there, covered by an old sheet. But this time, he didn't avoid it. He wanted to face it.
With trembling hands, he lifted the cloth, and horror found him.
The portrait was alive. The flesh of the canvas throbbed. The smile was his, but twisted, cruel, inhuman.
Dorian screamed, not out of fear, but recognition. At last, he saw what he truly was. At last, he saw himself without the mask.
He tried to beg for forgiveness, promised to change, to destroy everything, to pray, to repent. But the portrait looked back with the same eyes he had used to lie.
And then he took the knife. He believed that if he destroyed it, he would reclaim his soul, that he could erase years of sin with a single cut.
He plunged the blade into the canvas. Once, twice, 3 times. The painting didn't scream, but Dorian's body did.
The portrait began to glow. The paint stretched, the strokes shifted, the face grew young again, while he aged before his own eyes.
His skin wrinkled, his voice cracked. Every lie, every pleasure, every crime became wrinkle, stain, wound.
And with a final breath, his body fell beside the portrait. Beautiful again. Perfect. Pure.
But on the floor lay an unrecognizable old man, disfigured by all the years he thought he had defeated.
The beauty returned to the canvas, and the soul to the lifeless body.
At dawn, the servants found the body. An old man twisted beside a flawless painting. No one recognized him until they looked into the portrait's eyes and swore they saw a glimmer of guilt.
The scandal was brief. The painting was locked away. The name Dorian Gray faded from conversation, but never from the echo.
Sometimes, in the gallery where the painting hangs, they say you can hear a faint sigh, as if someone from within were still breathing.
Perhaps the soul didn't die. Perhaps it still watches, waiting for us.
Because Dorian never wanted eternity. He only wanted to stop fear. And in trying to hold on to beauty, he lost himself.
Man doesn't fear death. He fears growing old without being loved. And in that battle, many have already sold their souls, even if they never signed anything.
Every filter, every mask, every lie told to appear perfect is a new stroke on our own portrait.
And when the soul can no longer bear the weight of what we pretend, it begins to age for us.
Look closely in the mirror. Look at the eyes staring back at you. Are you sure it's still you?
Perhaps the painting already exists. It's just waiting for the moment. You dare to see it. Well, what time forgives, the soul never forgets.